Hello and welcome to my tutorial on Blendspace. Blendspace is a free online tool that can be used for creating learning modules to present, assess, and extend students' learning. I am using a Blendspace itself to create this presentation. You'll notice on the interface that I have the slide on the left and there's a chat box on the right. When students or participants are signed in, they can add comments as you are presenting or as they are flipping through the presentation. They can also click and rate each slide or tile. They can either like it or say that they are not a fan. To move on to the next slide, they're going to click on the arrow. Here's an overview of Blendspace by their creators.
Getting started creating lessons in Blendspace takes 30 seconds. All you need to get started is the topic you want to create your lesson. I'm going to create a lesson on the periodic table. I can just type in the title and then start searching using the pane on the right. When I press the search button, Blendspace goes out and finds related videos. All I have to do is drag and drop it onto the lesson. I can search a whole list of sources, including Google and Educreations for educational content. I can even add my own content by uploading and dragging it directly onto my lesson. I can even add rich text to help explain advanced concepts to my students. Once I have all the components, I can add labels and even reorder them by dragging and dropping. And that's it. Learn more about how to use Blendspace, including creating classes and auto-grading assessments, by following the links at the end of this video.
Now that you've had a quick overview, let's dig deeper. With Blendspace, you can organize all of your web resources in one place, and the tiles put together is called a canvas, or, like I said, you can use it as a learning module. You can have text, pictures, links to websites, and videos. Blendspace plays well with a lot of other tools. As you can see, it plays well with YouTube, Flickr, Google, Dropbox, uploading from your computer, any other type of link that you can find, and other Web 2.0 tools. The best part about Blendspace is that it tracks student data. As you can see, when students click likes and dislikes, it will track that data for that canvas or slideshow. Any comments that students make in the chat box, you can read those comments and see who wrote them. You can see how many times your presentation has been viewed, the average time spent on your presentation, any help requests, and I believe that is this eye icon. And you can also embed quizzes into the slides. This is what it looks like when you click to get more statistics on the views. Not only do you get the overall amount of time for the presentation, but you can also see per slide how long students spent on each slide. As you can see here, this was a video that was 2 minutes long, and this was a website with a lot of reading. I can easily tell from this data that students on average watched the video 2 to 3 times versus they did not fully go through this website because it would take a lot longer than 2 minutes. Same thing with likes and dislikes. You can see which slides students liked the best, and it makes sense that students liked this video, which is why they watched it several times, and they did not like that website so much. You can also hold the discussion with the chat box that I mentioned earlier. Here I posted a picture of erosion from my house that we were studying weathering and erosion, and I put a prompt in the description box for students to answer, asking them why my yard looked like this, and as you can see, they started answering on the right hand side. For comments, you can see for each slide how many comments, and when you click on it, you can then drill down and see what their comments were and who said what. And also, as I mentioned, you can embed quizzes throughout. So as the students are clicking through the slides, the quiz will pop up, the chat box goes away when there's a quiz, and they can answer the questions right then and there. Then, on the teacher version, you can see for each question how many students got the question right and how many got it wrong. And you can see which questions students had answered, and I should say which distractor students had answered for each question. You can see the average score, the highest score, and the lowest score. You can drill deeper. When you click on a distractor, you can see who it was that got that question wrong, and then you can talk to those students and follow up. Or you can look at a table view. So here the table view has the student name and then how they did across the board on all of the questions. So you can look at the question. You can look at the data by question or by student. Blendspace can be a great opportunity for differentiation and personalized learning. You can create classes in Blendspace and assign the canvases to students. You could have students joining your classes by class period, by readiness level, interest level, or learning style. Blendspace is great for flipping your classroom, BYOD, since it works on all devices, blending your class environment, and also for project-based learning. And there's no reason to reinvent the wheel. There are many canvases already created in the Blendspace website. All you have to do is go to their gallery and search the lessons, and as you can see, there are many subject topics that are already included. And if you decide to make your own or find a good one, you can easily share it with your PLC. Currently, you can upgrade to have your colleagues collaborate with you in real time, but you can share your Blendspace with the link. You can embed it. It already plays well with Twitter and Facebook. You can do a QR code, and you can change the privacy settings so that only people with the link and your students can view, or anyone. Here are some tips to consider. Use the first slide as an introduction or directions on how to use Blendspace, meaning setting the expectations for your students. The second slide, you could make a quiz about the expectation. So for instance, if I was creating a Blendspace about weathering and erosion, which this is what it looks like, and then you click on play to see each slide, the first slide is the do's and don'ts. Then you can have a quiz that checks the understanding of students, understanding of those expectations. Another thing you could do is train the students to look at the top of the chat box in the description for a discussion prompt that they can then add comments to answer. Use a variety of media. Log into the teacher portal to monitor students' comments, misconceptions, and questions. Work in small groups for students who scored incorrectly on quizzes. In Colonial, students have their lunch number and birthday as their Google Drive account, so I would recommend staying consistent with any other login processes that you have. Keep in mind that all students who are assigned to the same Canvas will see each other's discussion posts. So if you have one Canvas that you assign to multiple classes, then students will be able to see those discussions from the different classes. Otherwise, if you don't want that to happen, you may need to make a copy. Students do not need to be logged in to view the Canvas, but they do need to be logged in to use the chat box and quiz features. And don't forget to use the gallery instead of starting from scratch. To start, go to blendspace.com and sign up for a free account.